Supplementation is one of the biggest keys in fighting cancer holistically, and there's a whole range of different supplements out there that are natural. One of the natural supplements that I take is cayenne pepper. And this comes back to, again, one of my major frustrations with Western medicine, because cayenne pepper has actually been proven in laboratories that it has the ability to kill cancer. It has an ingredient in it called capsaicin, and capsaicin has the ability to penetrate the cancer cell and bring about the cancer cell's death. So you would think, why isn't there a drug based off of cayenne pepper? And I hate to be so cynical, but I think the reason is because cayenne pepper is a food, and food cannot be patented. Therefore, we most likely will never see a cancer-fighting drug that is based off of cayenne pepper. However, this doesn't stop you as an individual from taking cayenne pepper when you have this knowledge. And when I found it out, I decided, I think this is a good idea, and I'm going to start taking cayenne pepper. And this leads to a rather humorous story that is humorous now, but not at the time, that I wrote about in my book, Fiery Night of Hell. And it was the very beginning of my cancer journey when I still had full trust in my doctors, and I would listen to what they said. And part of the journey included me traveling down to Jacksonville, Florida, where I was to undergo 40 rounds of radiation, and it was proton radiation, which is a 3D format. And it's very important when you're taking proton radiation that your weight is consistent, because they base everything off of measurements. They literally tattoo your body on the outside and the inside. And I'll let you figure out how they tattoo you on the inside without surgery. But let me tell you, it wasn't very pleasant. Back to the story, as far as the cayenne pepper goes, I had to clear all of the supplements I was taking before I underwent the radiation and the chemotherapy. And they did clear cayenne pepper as one of them. However, one of the unfortunate side effects of radiation and chemotherapy can be binding, meaning, there's no pleasant way to say this, you become constipated and you don't go to the restroom. And that's what was happening to me with the chemotherapy. I was becoming bound and I was gaining weight. And this made the radiation people very upset. And I said, well, what am I supposed to do? And they said, well, go talk to the oncology people. They should have an idea. So, silly me, I talked to my doctor and I explained the situation, how important it was that I don't gain weight. And I'm gaining weight probably because of his chemotherapy. What should I do? Well, what he suggested was that I should drink an entire 12-ounce bottle of milk of magnesia in one sitting and then go home and wait for the event. And maybe it's partly my fault because I neglected to tell him that I'd been taking almost a tablespoon of cayenne pepper every day, and now I hadn't been going to the restroom for 10 days or more, and all of this cayenne pepper was kind of just like hanging around in my system. And so I, like a obedient child, listened to my doctor, and I went home one evening and I drank the 12 ounces of milk of magnesia and I waited for the event. I took it about 6 o'clock in the evening, and then I went out for dinner with friends, no event. Came home about 8 o'clock, no event. Watched some TV, still no event. I went to bed about 11:30. Then about midnight, I woke up and the event had begun. Let's just say that you've seen that bumper sticker where it says S happens. Well, I was in the restroom more than I was in my bed, probably about 4 or 5 times an hour. For the next 7 hours, I was expelling nothing but what I would call liquid fire. I never thought that I would burn my backside so bad. In fact, to this day, if I go into a pharmaceutical store and I walk down the aisle where the milk of magnesia is, my whole body kind of cringes and shudders, because you could say that that memory has been burned into my memory banks. It's quite the experience. And that's where I began to start to really lose some faith in my doctors, because when I shared this information with him, he just said nonchalantly, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have had you drink 12 ounces all at one time." And I'm like thinking, "You think?" Yeah. So that's my experience with cayenne pepper. But you know what? I still take it, but I don't take it in conjunction with 12 ounces of milk of magnesia. And I highly recommend that if you take cayenne pepper, that you don't drink 12 ounces of milk of magnesia either at the same time, because you may not like the results. Hope you have a great day. I know most of my days have been much better since that day. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you again soon.